don't be bewitched by modern day sorcery. In simple terms, what it means to be bewitched is to be manipulated into believing an untruth, right? And so I got 7 different uh, methods of modern day sorcery listed here. The first one is music, and it's one of the most powerful, right? And so you can think about the music of our times and what it contains. Like I grew up in New Orleans, and the music for young black men was filled with violence and you know whoremongering and selling drugs. And then when you look at the community down there, well, that's all the young people ascribe to do, myself included, right? From listening to the music. And so as a kid, you wouldn't even know where your thoughts come from if you just chanting these things all the time, chanting things like selling drugs and chasing women, shooting people, toting guns, and you go to thinking that's something cool. And so you being bewitched by the music. And if you look at the music of today, I think they call it like drill music or something, where these guys, they even worse than what we was, right? At least we would throw fists from time to time. And then as I was getting older, then they started really moving toward guns. But now the young people, they got guns in masses very, very quickly. And they really down to do each other harm. And, and that's with, even with the, if you look at some of the other love making music, where it talks about your partner cheating on you, or leaving you with the kids and all this, and people singing these songs, and then that get brought to life, actually, right? And so they ended up, when you chant this stuff day in and day out, it ends up happening to you, right? Your thoughts create your reality, right? To him that believe, if he tell this mountain to move, it'll be hence removed, right? And it's that belief, right? And so you start to believe the things that you're saying. And the next one is television, right? And so when you have the visual aspect of a thing, as far as you seeing, I think they was able to really push flying saucers and ET in the 50s and stuff like that, as the television got more and more prevalent, and they was able to put images out on the screen where people was able to see and hear the people talking about it. And so the belief, whether it be true or not true, right, uh, went through the roof. Now they had sightings way before the television came out, but you can see how once the people start seeing anything, they start to believe it to be true, right? They had images of certain type of people of being, they might have had the image of the black man as just being this uh, gold chain wearing, pants sagging thug, right? And that was promoted throughout the society, and then everybody believed that that's what all black men were, because that's the image that the country was being bewitched with. And to backtrack, the music, when it music I got first because it was really one of the first to be on the scene, and it's been around for thousands of years. But it wasn't readily available. You had to have a musician. Radios, electricity, that wasn't a thing, right? And then as we got radios, people was able to spread their bewitchment further out. Then the TV came, and then they was able to spread their bewitchment, because now you got, first you had sound, then you had sound and visual, right? Which came after, and then we go into the internet, right? The internet bewitches you. Yes, it does, because you can go on the internet and it can tell you something completely false, but you got trust in it, and you believe it. And then you base your reality off what you went on the internet. Then you go out and you try to push the message that you found on the internet to everybody you talk to because you believe it to be true because it was on the internet. That's a bewitchment. You see? And next is video games. Video games bewitch people. Straight up. It really does. Like, people play Call of Duty and Fight Night and Grand Theft Auto. They play Call of Duty and they think they straight military operatives. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not. You're really not, right? Because I done got spanked on Call of Duty by some 6-year-olds. And I'm like, dude, like this little 6-year-old is really handy with this thing, which they really shouldn't be playing that stuff, but you can hear, like, back in the day, you can hear them online being little kids, right? They're like little small kids. And so they really think they operatives. And that's what a lot of grown-ups now do too. I mean, because the generation, which is like my generation, a little bit earlier, we started off with the regular Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, Sega, and all this and that. And now we're adults, and the games then became almost lifelike. And most people, they, instead of going out doing actual things, they actually live out their lives on the video games and really feel like they can do those things that they do in the video games. It's not true, though. Another way we get bewitched is books. We read a book and we really believe what we read is true. And we form our thoughts of all these different authors and their beliefs and how they feel, and they've come to this understanding, and then we believe that this is how we got to do it. This is the only way we need to treat people, like how to influence and then win friends and influence people. I mean, many people have read that book, I myself included, and some of the methods I found to be kind of what's the word? Too agreeable for me, right? Like, I don't believe that you need to be flattering people, and you definitely, some of the principles are okay, but I prefer to be straight up, and so everybody not gonna be your friend, and I ain't really looking to influence everybody. But you can see, if you've read the book, you can see those tendencies in a person because they're gonna be absolutely agreeable with everything. I mean, ain't nothing. They just always agreeable, and I, for whatever reason, I don't too much care for yes men. They kind of stick away. I prefer that hard truth. So the next one is food. Woo. That is really potent form of sorcery they're using, right? Because how is it sorcery though? If you can make somebody eat something that's destroying them, killing them, and they can't give it up, man, they bewitched. Straight up. They are bewitched. It's changing your hormones, making men into women, women into men, straight up. I've talked to some close people. The woman, her test results got her extra high levels of testosterone. The man, talking to him, these people I know, he got extra low levels of testosterone. And, rebellious in diet and caring about what's going in their body, though, right? And you can halfway see that, man, the people being formed differently. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say form, I mean the shape of them is starting to change, and I'm starting to see it. But they bewitched, because there's no way that you're gonna be eating something that's destroying you from the inside and coming out on the outside, and then you still will literally, I ain't gonna say kill, but people will fight for their bad food, right? You seen some of these shows on weight loss, right? And how them people they be literally on their deathbed and still can't stop. They bewitched. And the last one is our water. Our water bewitches us, right? You think about, I tell my daughters, I was like, look, man, they say, Daddy, why you don't drink the tap water? I said, I could smell the bleach. I could smell the chlorine. And I could taste the pipes. Like, what? I was like, you can, listen, I raised you. You can smell the chlorine when it go to your nose too, right? And so chlorine is actually, we got a pool is used to kill stuff. Like, straight up, this is just factual information. And so I can't reason among myself that something that is used to kill things, to purify the pool water, and I drink it, how does that make sense? Seem like you're being bewitched, right? Like, to think that you can take minute levels of something and it be okay. No, what they try to do is they make it to where you're not noticing something immediately. Might not notice it in a year, 2, 3, 5 years. And then, but it's slowly doing something to you. Because if you consider this fact that you cannot take in minute levels of something that's poisonous to you, right? I'm pretty quite confident that you can't just drink chlorine, right? I knew somebody that used to think that if you take a tab, like a top of bleach before a piss test, it'll clean your system. And these two people, it's male and a female, this is a long, long time ago. They had a little urine test coming up, and they took a cab of bleach and drank it. Them people ain't never been right. Now, I don't know what's going on them to this day, but I know they went in the hospital. All kind of stuff went sour, because we used to hear all these fables growing up about how to do certain things, and people, they would just do it, right? And so to believe that you can take your toilet water, you heard me, send it to a plant, have somebody scoop the poop off the top, throw a bunch of chemicals in it, and then you all good, man, you bewitched, straight up. Yeah, I'm not bewitched though. I can't do it. I can't do it. Now, I know when I go to a restaurant or any place like that, that's what they got. And then sometimes I have to commend them. I'm like, oh, this is some good water. This might be filtered water, because I can taste it, right? I can taste the different things. And if you can't, you need to drink more water, right? And try not to be bewitched, because I'm telling you, they got these forms of modern day sorcery: music, television, internet, video games, books, food, water, and more. That's not it. But these were the main things I can think of that I wanted to give to you. That, listen, they got you straight bewitched. And be vigilant, right? Because I don't think it's going to be an excuse when the Lord come back. You're going to say that I was bewitched. I didn't know what was going on. I don't think that's going to be it. I don't think he's going to accept that answer. I could be wrong. I could be. But I just think that, if we make these choices to listen to wicked music, watch wicked TV shows, watch all kind of, the internet full of some stuff. And that's just the regular internet. I don't even know nothing about the dark web and what's in that. They got all kind of terrible video games. We started off on Mario, and books we read, the food we drink. Yes, baby, she'll be home soon. Well, peace, grace, love, mercy, patience, courage, and blessings be multiplied unto you.